Go back to our one of our headline stories tonight on the return of Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan to the National Assembly. Her office was unsealed today. For this conversation, I have with me in the studio constitutional lawyer Jide Ologun. Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
There seem to be misinterpretations. I want you to help us clear that as a legal mind. Does the opening of her office translate to an actual resumption of her legislative duties in the capacity that we know it? I mean, what the official ceremony we saw today was the unsealing of her office. Is the media accurate in the translation that she has resumed legislative duty? Because that's what she says.
It's a step towards that, because before now, her office was sealed. And when the suspension was expected to be over, the Senate passed out a communication that she will not be allowed to resume, making reference to some of the cases in court. But now, her office has been unsealed because the Senate is also on recess as we speak right now. So we look forward to the time when the Senate will resume plenary, and let's find out whether they will allow her to be part of the plenary or not. But politically speaking, I think the issue of Rivers State has set the stage for the Senate to reconsider the refusal of allowing her to resume. You see what played out in Rivers State. Fubara, who was suspended, has been reinstated into office, and the House of Assembly in Rivers State. So if the president did that, the Senate should learn from that, because in human resource management, suspension is not termination. If you want Natasha recall from the Senate, and that attempt was embarked upon at a time, you rely on the provisions in Section 69 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. So suspension is administrative, saying step aside for us to carry out some investigations without interference. But in her own case, it became a punitive step taken by the Senate. And Honorable Binta Nyako passed a decision that that suspension was excessive. She should be allowed to resume. But you see, my advice is that the judiciary also should be clearer, because I doubt if there was any directive that she should resume with immediate effect.
Yeah, some have argued that is an opinion, a suggestion to the Senate. But however you look at this matter, in her presser today, she said she has nothing to apologize for. And we know prior to now, we know the Senate has said that one of the conditions for her to return to the House was to apologize to the Senate. Do you see that? What do you expect to play out in October, in a couple of weeks, when the House resumes proper sitting? Will she apologize? Will she be allowed to continue her duties? Or there will be some, I mean, most of the things people have argued is bureaucracy and political maneuvering that has kept her out for the past 6 months.
Without holding brief for her, she has expressed her position as not being apologetic. Even the court, Justice Nyako, ordered her to apologize. I doubt if she has done that. If she was to pay 5 billion to the federal government coffers, I doubt if she has done that. And so she's just being herself, perhaps leveraging on her constitutional position as an elected member of the Senate. Fine, the Senate may have their rules. They've suspended, and like I said, suspension does not amount to termination. And the suspension period, it is over. And no court decision has expressed the fact that because a matter is in court, she cannot resume. So there are issues here. And I think the arms of government should be seen to be ethical in how they carry out their duties. And as mentioned earlier also, I hope they also learn from what has happened in Rivers State. In the case of Fubara, he has gone to the president to say, okay, now there will be peace. Because even though many denied it, all the drama that took place in Rivers State were because two political gladiators embarked on warfare.
Yeah, but you're talking of lessons. Do you think any was learned from the Natasha scenario? because her stance has always been that she will not apologize. There's been suggestions to the contrary. We hear, we cannot confirm independently that she's been advised to just apologize so she can continue to serve her people, but she is sticking with that.
She has not only been advised by political allies to apologize, the court ordered her to apologize. So this is a test for the rule of law, you see, and someone can go back to the court and she can be proceeded against on the basis of contempt of court. Not just only that, she still has some matters in court. For instance, she made an allegation that the president of Senate ordered the former governor of Kogi State to kill her. The matter is still in court.
Yeah, so that has been moved, I think, again.
Exactly. So my position is that if you look at Section 4 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, it states clearly that the National Assembly has the mandate to make laws for the peace, orderliness, and good government in Nigeria, and not all this drama that we are witnessing. So,
well, is it possible that her stance might somehow still impact her resumption at the House, or do you expect that she might just play a surprise one on all of us and just, you know, I'm sorry.
We hope she plays a surprise one, but let me state this clearly. Beyond the order of Honorable Justice Binta Eyako for her to apologize, no law says she must apologize. No law says that. And at a point like this, they are the lawmakers. They should look into our laws, identify the loopholes, because even on her own side too, the allegation that she was not allowed to sit in her regular place, some senators have passed through that.
Not to speak for her as well, she did come up to say that despite the suspension, she still made sure her people felt her presence, you know, and some would wonder on whose expense. You know, was it her personal expense, or was she hoping to, when she gets back to the House, she would take? But she said she made sure her people didn't feel neglected.
Even in human resource management, suspension does not take away your entitlements. So she will still have access to her entitlements to attend to the needs of her constituents. And of course, during the suspension, she visited them. You see, the drama continued. And there are several issues. She brought in the allegations of sexual harassment, gender discrimination, and all those. But my concern is that, can they now all come together like it eventually happened in Rivers State, that for the interest of good governance and for the interest of attending to the bigger crisis in the land of people who are hungry, the state of the economy, and focus on the essence of being in the hallowed chamber. Okay. I just said it. They are not representing themselves.
Not to rehash, but what would you expect to play out when the House resumes? Just based on all that you know on this matter, if you were to predict, what would you say will play out at the House? Will the Senate allow this matter go and let her do her duty and give her a win per se, or do you think that they will find a way to get her to stay out?
I hope political solutions are brought into all this, that the matters in court are resolved. You know, there is what you call lobbying in the legislative arm of government, and it's not limited to those who are coming from the constituencies. Even within the legislatures, you can lobby. They are all senators, 109 senators, all elected. Before this sitting arrangement, they used to speak with one voice. They all got the SUVs and they all earned the salaries.
when the largest come,
exactly. So I expect that if indeed they are there for the interest of the people they've gone to represent,
find a solution.
They should find solutions. And there are principles of conflict resolution, and they are senior citizens. They should be quite in touch with
I guess
this.
The rest of Nigerians, and particularly people in her constituents and her supporters, are hopeful that this matter dies once and for all. Thank you very much, Jide,
You're
for speaking with
welcome.
us.
God bless Nigeria.